What's going on? This is Out of Sports with another WWE video, and today's video is going to be the results and review of TLC 2020. Pay-per-view probably ended a few hours ago, and overall I had to give it probably an A. It was a really good pay-per-view, and I'm going to just start off with the pre-show. In the pre-show, we had 8-man tag team match. We had Big E, Daniel Bryan, Chad Gable, and Otis versus King Corbin, Sami Zayn, Cesaro, and Shinsuke Nakamura. This match was announced today as a part of the pre-show. And basically you had, of course, Big E and Sami Zayn on opposite sides. They've been feuding lately. You got Chad Gable and Otis, and then Nakamura and Cesaro. They've had their rivalry. And then, they just threw Daniel Bryan and Baron Corbin in there just because. And for an 8-man tag team match, this was actually pretty good. And the ending came when Chad Gable was really on fire, but in the end, Sami Zayn, he tagged himself back in. Chad Gable was able to make the tag to Big E. Sami tried to run away, but it didn't work. And Big E ends the match with a big ending. And Big E gets the win. And on this Friday on SmackDown, Big E's supposed to have a title match against Sami Zayn for the IC title, and I'm hoping that he wins it, honestly. But nonetheless, it was a pretty good 8-man tag. The main show opened up with Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles for the WWE Championship. AJ Styles, of course, came out with almost his bodyguard. And this match was crazy from the beginning to the middle to the end. The end saw The Miz come out. Morrison had the briefcase, and The Miz ended up cashing in his Money in the Bank during the match. He made it a triple threat, and man, I really thought Miz had the win multiple times, but in the end, Drew McIntyre pushed the ladder over and knocked AJ and Miz off. AJ went out of the ring. Miz was still teetering. He stood up, and Drew hit that Claymore kick on him, and that was it. Drew McIntyre is still the WWE champion. I don't really know what's next for Drew after this. Maybe the feud with AJ continues. If not, then I could maybe see either a feud with maybe Sheamus or maybe Keith Lee if Keith Lee turns heel. Not too sure, but nonetheless, Drew McIntyre is the WWE champion. Up next is the tag team title match from the Raw brand. New Day defended against the Hurt Business, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. MVP was ringside with the Hurt Business, and this was just a really good tag team match. This was, every time the New Day has a match, it's going to be good, and you can really say the same thing about Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. But they went out there for the tag team titles, and the ending came when Shelton Benjamin, he was really taking care of business, and then he was going to set up Kofi, but he backed up and into his corner, and Cedric Alexander tagged himself in. Cedric Alexander, over the past few weeks, he's been getting real excited, when they win matches and shit. And he goes up to Kofi, gives him a lumbar check, 1, 2, 3, and the Hurt Business finally win the tag team titles. I think they should have won those titles a long time ago. Even back when the Street Profits were on Raw, I was thinking that. But Hurt Business finally won the titles. Wouldn't be surprised if the New Day win them back pretty soon. And, maybe Hurt Business and New Day trade the titles a few times. Wouldn't be surprised. I'm just really glad to see Shelton Benjamin as a champion in 2020. He hasn't held a championship in WWE since 2009 when he lost the United States Championship. That's crazy. Anyway, though, Hurt Business are the new tag team champions. Up next, it was another TLC match. This time it was for the Universal title. Roman Reigns defended against Kevin Owens. And in my opinion, this was match of the night. Going into this, I just thought Kevin had no chance of beating Roman Reigns. But during the match, they convinced me multiple times that Kevin Owens was going to take that title. But I mean, really, it was just the same deal. Roman Reigns, he's real dominant, but when he does go down, Jey Uso's there to, pick up the scraps. And Jey Uso got involved a lot in this match. The ending came with the very last ending came. Kevin Owens had finally, he hit a stunner on Uso and he was out. He was climbing to the top and he had his fingers on the title, and then Kevin Owens nut shot him through the rung of the ladder. He hit him in the straight in the dick, and then he locked in the guillotine up on top of the ladder, knocked him off, and pulled the title down. And Roman Reigns is still the Universal Heavyweight Champion. And I figured that was going to happen. And as far as Roman Reigns goes, I'm thinking that this feud with Kevin Owens is going to continue. But if not, let's just say if not, I could see Daniel Bryan going into that role, maybe. Maybe Rey Mysterio. Probably not, though. But possibly Rey Mysterio could be in that role. But either way, Roman Reigns, there's no chance he's losing that championship. He's going to hold it to WrestleMania. He's going to beat Goldberg. And I'm not sure what's going to happen after that. But, yeah, man, Roman don't need to lose that title. He's the greatest thing in WWE right now. I think everybody could agree with that. And I actually thought this match was the main event until the next match started up, which was the Firefly Inferno match between the Fiend Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. This to me was 1A, 1B match of the night. This was 1B to Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. Randy and Bray, I've seen Inferno matches, but if this is under the umbrella of Inferno matches, best Inferno match of all time. There was just a lot of fire involved. It's kind of hard to explain. It was a lot of fire around the ring, and then the ending came when Randy Orton pushed Bray Wyatt into the fire. Bray Wyatt lit on fire, but he was engulfed in flames, and he was still going after Orton. But Orton then hit an RKO, and then poured gasoline all over the body of Bray Wyatt, and he lit a match and burned him. And Bray Wyatt is now a burned man. He is murdered. He's deceased. He's burned. If Bray Wyatt comes back, then this is fake because he's obviously dead. I was fucking with you, but he did burn alive though. And Randy Orton did get the win, but I doubt this is the end of this feud. Something in my head told me this may go to WrestleMania, but then I was like, nah. Edge and Randy Orton are probably going to have a match at WrestleMania. But I think this is going to end with Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton in a Firefly Funhouse match, like the one that Bray had with Cena. As far as when that's going to be, I guess at the Royal Rumble would be a good time to do it. Because, you don't want to do that. You don't really want to do that at Elimination Chamber or Super Showdown, whatever the pay-per-view for March is. But I really hope that that's how this ends. They could do a lot of stuff with Randy Orton's career in a Firefly Funhouse match. But Randy Orton did end up winning the main event. And like I said at the beginning of the video, overall I give this pay-per-view a A. Every men's match just delivered. There was no bad men's matches on this. Even the 8-man tag, I was impressed that the 8-man tag was that good. And TLC was a really good show though. And I'm actually curious to see what's going on with the world titles after this. But anyway, that was the recap, review, and results of TLC 2020.